Hello, and in this video we're going to be having a look at my Grot tanks that I've made. Before we begin, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please get your big shooter, aim it at the subscribe button and destroy the bell button so that you never miss an upload. So, as we said in the intro, we're going to be having a look at the Grot tanks. It's doing a bit of a focusing thing, so I'm going to do some panning now. Hopefully this might be a better lighting. Let me know if you think it's too harsh, and I'll try and sort some out for next time. But here we go. So here are the Grot tanks. I made these, effectively, the short version is from the Wartrakk base, which is going to, I'm guessing, going to be no longer relevant anymore because it's in the index and we now have an orc codex. So not great, to be honest, in the situation. However, it's a good way of saving the universe, reduce, reuse, recycle, blah, blah, blah. You can use, this was a Skorcha, super duper simple conversion. All I did was put a glyph on there, and I think it was, that's from Ramshackle Games, and I just put a Gretchen. I lifted the come on, focus. There we go. I lifted the turret up and glued a Grot in there. It's not even a full Grot, it's just a base, just his torso, a head, and some arms. I even had to bend the stick bottom, but this has been in another video previously. I did a couple of videos on basically when I got to build it, some little bits and bobs. Anyway, so it's basically a cool little tiny tank. So it's not quite, as far as I'm aware, it's probably about half the size of an actual Grot tank. But I think it's a cool little way of getting use out of models that maybe can't use anymore. Here is another one. So the majority of these ones were made from parts to do with either the Wartrakk base and bits, resin parts from Ramshackle Games, like the canister there, the turret, the actual gun on the turret, the base of the turret, which looks pretty good to be honest, in my opinion. There's a bit of a gap there, and I could fill that with milliput or another part. So I haven't finished doing this completely. However, I will come clean to you. As ever, I've used milliput to make copies of the original turret, as you can see by the bit of gap on there. However, from the tabletop, I think it looks alright. Some of the other ones are not as great as the others. I suppose the key thing for this this video is basically to show you that you can get use out of your models, which you may not be able to use currently or ever again. But basically, you can make them into little mini Grot tanks, which look kind of cool, even if they're just used for terrain. Pretty good. I mean, obviously I probably wouldn't use this as static terrain with the fact that he's on there. Could rip him out, but hey, you know. So the other guys, I did clone the main base of the Wartrakk again. So this is solid milliput, with the exception of this part here. No, that's milliput too, and so is this. So let's have a look. There we go. So there's a gas canister from the Guard Flamer Cadian kit. However, again, that was milliput molded into it. Everything else was, and again, from the tabletop, it's fine, but you can definitely see there's some warpage, to be honest. But it is meant to have a ramshackle appearance, and I wanted to make a video, right? So the only way I would be able to do it is I would have two tanks, wouldn't have a full unit, and I wanted to show you guys what you can use principally. So that's why I did end up cloning all of the other bits. Again, I could just use these three as terrain, but everything on these models, with the exception of these parts, which I'll show you in a second, were cloned from milliput using blue stuff. So not too long ago, it might have even been last year or the year before, who knows, I was sent some models. I was sent the Reebok tank from Ramshackle Games, the Capybara, the Vol light tank, and a lot of extra bits and bobs, which you would normally get with some of the kits anyway. Some of them you get extras with, multitude of weapons, and to be honest, it's pretty decent resin kits. So basically what I did was I kept all the bits, as you do, most sensible people do, and I've now obviously got enough for some turret bits. The good little, it's a good little set for conversions, and a lot of them are quite similar to Games Workshop things. So if you're looking to add them to Games Workshop. If you want to add little guns to, you know, what's that game? What's the game when you, it's, 1 second. It's the game where you've got like toy cars and you pimp them out, you can paint them, add stuff on. Basically, there's loads of different turrets you could put on, guns. Ah, there we go, it's called Gaslands. It's a little game, and what I'm saying here is you can use the parts for that. So what we've got here, we'll have a look at them individually anyway. Come on, there we go. So that gun literally is just locked on top of the turret, which again was cloned, and it's like a machine gun style weapon, which is pretty cool, to be honest. And again, you could use that for Gaslands, but the rest of this was cloned entirely. You can see a lot more so when you look underneath. But we'll have a look at the next one. So this is like a little mini cannon, similar to the other one, but it's got more of an open thing. Like I'm guessing it's a support. I don't really know a lot about guns, to be honest. So if anyone knows about guns and they want to tell me what type of turret that is, please tell me in the comments down below. It'd be lovely to hear from you. Then we've got like a machine gun thing, which is clearly going to be more like a big shooter, or at least a twin big shooter, if nothing else. I'll put some gold on there. These are not finished painted wise, however, I will probably happily play with them until I get bored of looking at them and then going back to them. Anyway, so yeah, it's like a machine gun turret plopped on top. So again, that came with it. And this one, I'm guessing it's like, so this is like almost like a twin auto cannon. There's another weapon it's a lot like as well. I want to say a las cannon. There we go. So it's like a mini, like a small version of the, is it the Exterminate auto cannon from a guard tank? To be honest, yeah, pretty much. So the thing I would say about this is, so this bit here is resin, and the base bit that it's sitting on is resin. So you could glue that to a turret, and you could literally spin it around. So the good thing about that is, if you wanted to magnetize it, you definitely could, and you could have it spinning around. But because I'd cloned that bit, I just thought, right, we'll just wham it on. It's a good little conversion. All right, tooting your own horn there. Personally, I think it's a cool little way, even if you're just looking at them two, right, of getting more use out of your models. And do you know what? I probably would buy some more Wartrakks just to make some more and have these guys as fillers. These guys are going to die first, or these would be terrain. But I probably would, in the long run, maybe not right now, buy some more Wartrakks and Skorchas, because I think it's a cool little way. And the only thing you would need in addition to your Wartrakk is basically head over to Ramshackle Games. You can buy the parts separately, so you don't have to buy a full tank. If you just want to buy the turret and the weapons, you get a multitude of weapons options. I'll try and put a link in the comments down below, not in the comments, in the description, if I've got any sense. Ramshackle Games are good for conversion bits and stuff, and there's other things. I'll probably do a separate video on that. I suppose the key thing of this video, anyway, if I get back on topic, is basically just to show you can use Wartrakks to basically convert your Wartrakks into mini tanks for your Grots. And I think that's pretty much it. I could go on forever, rambling on and on and on like I normally do, but what we'll do is we'll just end the video there. Let me know what you think. What parts would you use? Is there any cool websites that I'm not aware of for bits? Put them in the comments down below. It'd be lovely to tell other people about basically how you can save money making Grot tanks. It would be lovely. Thank you very much for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Yeah, so here we have my Grot tank, I say conversion. So this was one, no, shut up, you've ruined it.